You are so bad at acting that the cast of Saved by the Bell feels sorry for you.
There are actors who play it safe in interviews. Careful answers, rehearsed compliments, nothing that could ever become a headline for the wrong reason. Nothing that could ever be clipped and taken out of context. Publicists love these interviews. Nobody remembers them a week later. And then there's Jennifer Lawrence, an Oscar winner who has spent over a decade walking into rooms full of famous, powerful, occasionally intimidating people and teasing every single one of them straight to their face, live, on camera, without a hint of hesitation or a second of visible planning. She's roasted a late-night host over a dance floor disaster in front of J-Lo. She's petted a grown man's face on stage in front of thousands and called him a sweet angel seconds after he tried to insult her. She's needled her own co-stars mid-interview about who's getting more screen time. She's taken a gentle, perfectly aimed shot at one of the most respected and famously private actors alive, without ever raising her voice or breaking a smile. She's even teased a future co-star's love life years before they ever worked together, just for fun, with no film to promote at all. This isn't a highlight reel of feuds. Nobody walks away from these clips actually hurt, and nobody stops being her friend afterward. That's the whole trick. This is a highlight reel of a woman who figured out, early in her career, that the fastest way to survive Hollywood's endless press circuit is to stop being precious about it and just say the funny thing exactly when it occurs to her, regardless of who's sitting across the table. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the internet keeps calling Jennifer Lawrence the most fearless mouth in show business, and why every single person she's ever teased still seems to genuinely love her for it.
Go! Okay, mother, balls, nipple, father, brother, sister, stank.
Let's start with the interview that basically built her reputation for this in the first place, the one clip that, more than any other, taught the internet exactly what kind of guest Jennifer Lawrence was going to be for the rest of her career. Zach Galifianakis' Between Two Ferns is built entirely around insult comedy guests get roasted, and the good ones roast back, all sitting in uncomfortable chairs between two potted ferns while Galifianakis reads deadpan insults off cue cards, treating every guest with the same flat, faux hostile indifference regardless of how famous they are. When Jennifer Lawrence sat down across from him during her Hunger Games press run at the height of her fame following her first Oscar win, Galifianakis opened by claiming Bradley Cooper had told him, in real life, that she was ugly, pausing dramatically as if consulting his notes to make sure he'd gotten the insult exactly right. Before he could even finish framing the joke properly, Lawrence was already circling, waiting for her opening, visibly unbothered by an insult that would have derailed a less confident guest completely. When Galifianakis tried a softer jab, mentioning she'd played in a movie called The Hunger Games, Lawrence cut him off instantly. Yeah, isn't that your life story? Galifianakis, visibly thrown off his own script, protested that the comment was off-putting. Lawrence didn't let the opening go to waste for even a second. "You should be off-pudding," she said, "because you're fat." She kept going, telling him he shouldn't eat any more pudding, and the more uncomfortable he looked on camera, the funnier the whole exchange got. It's worth saying clearly, this is a scripted, satirical format where both sides know going in that the insults are the entire point of the show. But what made Lawrence's episode stand out from the dozens of other celebrities who'd sat in that same chair over the years is that she didn't play defense for a single second. She matched him insult for insult, in real time, without a script of her own to fall back on, turning his own joke around on him faster than he could deliver the next one. That instinct teasing first, thinking later, didn't stay confined to a comedy set built for exactly that purpose. It followed her into every single press tour for the next decade, into rooms where nobody had signed up to be roasted at all.
Hi. Oh my God! I wedged it loose with my ass. They were so good for butt itching.
Take the Comic-Con panel for Mockingjay Part 2, where Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, and Liam Hemsworth sat on stage together in front of roughly 6,500 fans packed into the San Diego Convention Center's largest hall. When Hutcherson turned sincere for a moment, calling the franchise the most incredible movie-making experience of his life and thanking the cast for what they'd built together over 4 films, Lawrence and Hemsworth didn't let the tender moment breathe for long. They reached over and started petting his face on stage, in front of the entire crowd, mid-sentence, with Hemsworth cracking that Hutchison was a sweet, sweet angel. Hutchison took it in stride, laughing it off until Lawrence fumbled her answer to a fan's question a few minutes later, and he fired back that maybe they needed a kill switch for her microphone. Lawrence, completely unbothered, just turned it into a bit about her own history with public speaking, asking the crowd rhetorically what they'd all learned about her over the years, letting the whole arena laugh along with her at her own expense. Neither of them backed down. Neither of them got genuinely upset. That's the pattern that defines every single one of these moments. The teasing goes both directions, and everyone involved is clearly having a great time being roasted in public.
I've never seen my mom more drunk in our lives. We were worried.
I was way more drunk than your mom.
A year earlier, in a roundtable interview for the same franchise, Lawrence turned her attention directly at Liam Hemsworth. When Hemsworth said he thought Mockingjay Part 2 was probably the best film in the series, the interviewer pushed back, half joking, asking if he only thought that because he had more screen time in it. Hemsworth laughed and admitted, maybe a little bit. Lawrence, sitting right next to him, didn't let it slide. "It is quite a coincidence," she said. "Best movie. More Liam. Could it be? It's a valid question." She said it with a straight face, letting the joke land exactly where she wanted it, aimed directly at her co-star, sitting 2 feet away, unable to do anything but laugh at himself. Notice the pattern climbing here. A scripted comedy roast with a host who signed up for it, on a set purpose-built for insults. Convention stage banter with 2 co-stars she'd known and worked alongside for years in front of a friendly, adoring crowd. A roundtable dig at a close friend sitting right beside her, with a journalist in the room as a witness. Each one raises the stakes slightly, not in cruelty, but in how personal and immediate the teasing becomes, how little warning the other person gets before the joke lands, and how much less safe the setting is compared to the one before it.
Yeah,
What was today like?
Today was stressful and I had no time to eat. I am starving.
Yes, well, you can eat. There's like 12.
Is there food here?
There's 12 plates afterwards. Wolfgang was here earlier talking about
The show
afterwards.
was so long.
Now, why was it stressful?
Sorry, I'm so upset about it.
Jennifer Lawrence, no hard feelings.
No, you will not. You will not. I promise you. I promise you. So it's hard to find a man that.
Yeah, because I'm gay. Bye.
No. I spoke to Elizabeth at SNL, and she said I outed because she talked about the falling down. She was like, "You outed me," and I said, "But everyone talked about it."
Like one time, like, oh, he, and then the next year, consecutively, and then every single time I'm in heels, it looks like I'm like, ba-da, 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 and I'm not. I don't think it's funny at all.
The pattern holds even when the setting shifts from a movie junket to a late-night couch, where there's no franchise to promote and no co-star to fall back on for support. On The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon challenged Lawrence to a game of Box of Lies, a segment built entirely around mystery boxes and playful lying. But before they even got to the game itself, Lawrence used the moment to publicly call him out for something that had nothing to do with the movie she was there to promote. She reminded him, on camera, of a plan the two of them had cooked up together at a charity event to surprise Jennifer Lopez on the dance floor. "You came up with this idea," she told him, laying out the plan step by step for the audience. "We'll do a spin, and then she will dance with us." Except when Lawrence actually did her spin, mid-routine, in front of an actual pop star, Fallon was already gone, having quietly slipped away and left her standing there alone. "I do it. Then I look at him and he's gone and she's just looking at me," Lawrence said, turning to face him directly, letting the studio audience feel the full weight of his betrayal. "You made me look like a freak in front of J-Lo." Fallon had no real defense. The host of the show got roasted on his own show, by his own guest, over a plan he'd abandoned mid-execution, and the audience loved every second of it, laughing harder at his humiliation than at anything scripted for the segment itself. It's worth pointing out that Fallon is one of the more good-natured hosts in late night, someone who invites this kind of ribbing as part of his own on-air persona, but even by his standards, getting called out for abandoning a friend on a dance floor, live, in front of J-Lo, was a level of specific, detailed public embarrassment he clearly hadn't planned for walking into the segment. Here's the thing that connects all of these moments so far. Jennifer Lawrence never waits for permission to tease someone. She doesn't wait for the interviewer to open the door. and she doesn't wait for the other person to finish making their point first. The second there's an opening, a proud moment, a soft brag, a half-finished sentence, she's already found the joke inside it. That's not meanness. That's just speed. Most people need a beat to think of the perfect comeback, run it through their head, decide whether it's too much, and only then say a softened version out loud. Lawrence appears to skip every one of those steps entirely, and somehow that's exactly what makes it land as affectionate instead of cruel. There's no calculation in it, no sense that she's been sitting on the line waiting for a chance to use it. And that instinct hasn't slowed down with age, fame, or a 2-year break from the spotlight. If anything, it's gotten sharper, and the names getting teased have only gotten bigger. Sometimes she doesn't even wait until there's a film to promote or a co-star in the room. Back in 2018, long before the two of them ever worked together, Lawrence was asked by Entertainment Tonight about actors she admired, and brought up a much younger Timothée Chalamet, completely unprompted. "Timothy, I'm waiting for him to get a little bit older, you know," she said, deadpan, before adding that she was buttering him up like a pig for slaughter until he turned 30, at which point she planned to swing right in there. When the interviewer, laughing, asked if he was even old enough for the joke to be appropriate, Lawrence confirmed he was over 18 without missing a beat. It's the kind of line that would have been mortifying for almost anyone else to say about a fellow actor in the industry, except Lawrence delivered it with so much obvious, self-aware absurdity that it became one of her most quoted lines instead of a controversy. Years later, the two of them actually did become genuine friends and co-stars on Don't Look Up, proof that in Jennifer Lawrence's world, getting teased first is basically a prerequisite for getting close to her at all.
If you guys don't know, this is where babies come from.
Yeah, because I'm gay. Bye.
What did you learn from Jennifer Lawrence?
She taught me how to pee in the woods.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah,
Kentucky,
I gotta write that.
In December of 2025, Jennifer Lawrence sat down with Leonardo DiCaprio for Variety's Actors on Actors series, a format built specifically for warm, reflective, prestige-friendly conversation between two respected peers who've both won Oscars and worked with some of the same directors. Lawrence brought up DiCaprio's role as a father in his 2025 film, telling him sincerely that she'd loved seeing him play that part. It sounded, for a moment, like a completely straightforward, generous compliment, the kind actors trade constantly during awards season. Then she kept talking, and viewers immediately started picking apart what she'd actually implied, connecting it to DiCaprio's well-documented, widely joked about history of dating significantly younger partners over the years. Fans online were convinced within minutes that Lawrence had aimed a perfectly polite-sounding line directly at one of the most talked-about parts of his public reputation, delivered with a completely straight face to a man 20 years her senior, on camera, during what was supposed to be one of the softer, safer interview formats in all of Hollywood press. That's the real signature move, laid bare in its final form. It's not what Jennifer Lawrence says plenty of celebrities can deliver a good line written for them by a publicist or a writer's room. It's that she says it to the person's face, in the room, with them sitting right there, able to hear every word, instead of saving it for a separate interview or a subtweet later. Zach Galifianakis had to sit across from his own insult in real time, on a set built for exactly that. Josh Hutcherson got his face petted while he was mid-sentence about how much the franchise meant to him. Liam Hemsworth got roasted about his own screen time while sitting 2 feet away from her. Jimmy Fallon got called out on his own couch, in front of his own audience, on his own show. Timothée Chalamet got teased about a hypothetical future romance years before they ever worked together. And Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the most guarded private actors of his generation, got teased about his own dating history while the cameras were rolling, and there was nowhere for him to look but directly at her. That's the whole story here. Not a woman who's mean, and not a woman who's trying to go viral off someone else's discomfort, a woman who has simply decided that Hollywood press tours are more fun when nobody, including the biggest names in the business, gets to leave the room without being teased at least once. There's a reason none of these relationships fell apart afterward. Josh Hutcherson still calls her one of his closest friends. Liam Hemsworth still shows up to support her projects years after the franchise ended. Jimmy Fallon has had her back on his show more times than either of them can probably count. Timothée Chalamet went on to actually work with her, by choice, after that joke went viral. And Leonardo DiCaprio, by all accounts, took the actors on actors line as exactly what it was, a compliment with a knife folded neatly inside it, delivered by someone who clearly respects him enough to tease him properly. That's maybe the real lesson buried underneath all the punchlines. Being teased by Jennifer Lawrence isn't a warning sign. In her world, it's closer to an invitation proof that she likes you enough to stop being careful around you, in front of everyone, on camera, without asking first. It's a strange, backwards kind of compliment, but once you notice the pattern across a decade of clips, it's hard to unsee. The people she teases the hardest are almost always the people she keeps coming back to. Film after film, interview after interview, year after year. So which of these moments made you laugh the hardest? The between two ferns pudding line? The sweet angel face petting at Comic-Con? The kill switch comeback? Getting Jimmy Fallon caught red-handed over J-Lo? The pig for slaughter line about Timothée Chalamet? Or that quietly savage compliment to Leonardo DiCaprio? Let us know in the comments which celebrity you think handled getting teased by her the best. And if you want more real, unfiltered Hollywood moments like this, hit subscribe. We've got more of these coming every week.